They went from the 4th level of hell and sent us down to the 7th level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all of this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to, I thought Lil Murder was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zam's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. And you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah. Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the Three Kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see. Can I see? Hit me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue Joshua or something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy. Hey y'all, what's going on? Let me spruce up the place a little bit. I ain't got nothing up. Let me spruce up the place. Is that better? Is that better? Take this down. Y'all know who I am. Is that better? So we try to spruce up the place, God. What's going on, y'all? Hey. I'm just pouring me something to lubricate my throat with. So listen, y'all. We're back for another edition of Run Your Mouth. Run your goddamn mouth with an F on the end. Mouth. Run your mouth. What's going on, y'all? Shondo to you and yours. Shondo to you and yours as I get my drink together. Oh, that's good. Anyway, y'all, what's going on? What is up? What's up? Somebody go over tell the members only chat that we are here. I haven't decided yet. I'm supposed to let y'all know I'm wrestling between the students and the pupils. I'll let y'all know by the end of the week. We'll know before Silly Saturday on Saturday, okay? We'll know. But hey, everybody. It is cold. Listen, y'all better stay warm out there. Listen, it's cold as hell. I woke up to 15 degrees. 15. It was 15 degrees when I woke up. Let me say that again. 15. Lord. It was ice all over the ground every damn well. It was a mess. A mess. Um, so yes, we are here. Let me say I got several inboxes yesterday of people thanking me for my breakdown of the Fannie Willis, because a lot of them had heard different things and they needed that breakdown. Y'all know that's what we do over here. We break down stuff, but you're welcome. Y'all know we now. If it's one thing we're gonna do over here, we're gonna break some shit down. But I did get several inboxes about that breakdown we did yesterday. So I'm glad we spent some time on that. Let me say hey to y'all. Let me take some attendance while y'all doing y'all bell ringer assignment and hitting the like button and sharing the video out. Hey, Lemon Kush Pepper, lovely 31 blueprint. Hey, my love. Yana, what's good, boo? Cross Country Cruiser, Spicy Original, Mamiana, Ravine, uh Diamond Pearl Gem, Tracy W, Janae, what's good, boo? Ravine, Shirley Mack, good evening, Shirley. Montrez, what's good, bruh? Xavier, what's good? What is good? Hey, now listen. The dossier today is not too packed. I talked to Really B. She says she's gonna push back her live to 7 o'clock. We were over there on Teacher Project 2.0 doing what we do over there. If you're not subscribed to the Teacher Project 2.0, please consider going over there and hitting the subscribe button. Please do it now. Let me go ahead and put the link to the Teacher Project 2.0 in the chat. We definitely need one more person to we do need one more person to subscribe, because right now we have 666 subscriptions, and we don't want no 666 subscribers now. One of y'all go on y'all troll pages and subscribe. Hey Tanya, boo, what's good, boo? So listen, but yes, for those people, excuse me, who inboxed me yesterday, I absolutely thank you so much for your kudos on that breakdown of the Fannie situation yesterday, because like I said, a lot of people just were not aware of everything going on with Fannie, and we needed to come and speak truth to power and lay that thing on out and flesh that thing on out. Hey Sharice, what's going on? Hey everybody. So listen, um where do we I'm gonna start again. Let me get my sugar spike moments out of the way first, because yesterday we had two sugar spike stories. Hey Harold, let me give Harold a moment. Hold on, let me give Harold a moment, because everybody got to say hi to Harold. Harold is the favorite son over here. Everybody loves, how they say everybody hates Chris, everybody loves Raymond. No, everybody loves Harold. Watch all the people say, hey Harold, boo. I think Harold is secretly piping everybody in the chat. He says that he likes the menses, but I think Harold is secretly piping down all the women in the chat, because they all love Harold. Look at him. Look at him. Look at everybody saying, hey Harold. See what I'm saying? Listen, they like that old countrified, down home Alabama peen over there. They say they make them big over there in Alabama. So I'm just saying, look. See what I'm saying? Look at them. They over there clamoring for Harold. Hey Harold. Child. Care. Piping, Ravine, piping. So, y'all are a mess. Y'all are a mess. Boy. Yeah, so I think we will start with our sugar spike segment, because there are some sugar spiky stories that I certainly don't want to neglect. We didn't get to them yesterday, but I want to flush those out today. Look at Yana. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Lord. Look, see what I'm saying? Look at Harold. Look at him. Look at him. I told y'all, Harold. Listen, I told y'all how this is going, right? I told y'all what's happening, right? Exactly, Tracy. I'm the host. This is my platform, and I don't even get that type of attention. Child, that's good. They say he got that old down home countrified third leg internal organs displacing meat over there. I'm just saying. That's what the people say. Lord. The hell? Sorry, y'all. What was I about to say? I can't help. Whatever. Whatever. Don't listen to me. The people done told me, Harold. Don't Harold. You can't deny it. You can't deny it. Anyway, let's get right down to it, people. It's time to do it. It's time to do it. Late bell today will be at 6:25. Late bell today will be at 6:25. Anybody that come at 6:26, hall monitors, y'all already know what to do. Monitor the doors, hall monitors. Please monitor the doors. Because we don't got a long agenda, but we got some things that we need to flush out, and we ain't got that much time. We got about an hour. Let's see how good I am. See if I can get through everything in an hour. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary gender conforming members of our audience, you know what time it is. It's time for your Sugar Spike segment.
You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So love the world. I want to fight. That he gave his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
Jesus. Listen. So let's start with the story that we talked about yesterday and just didn't get to. So yesterday, I teased it yesterday. I didn't talk about it. We have a situation in the great state of Alabama. In the great state of Alabama, they are trafficking organs without the knowledge or consent of individuals. Let me read this article to you. Well, here's the headline. Part of a pattern, Alabama inmates' bodies sent back to families missing internal organs, including brain and heart, in bizarre cases. That is the headline. The family of two Alabama prison inmates who died in the past few weeks are demanding answers from state authorities after they received their loved ones' bodies, bizarrely missing several of their major internal organs. Both these cases raised questions about the treatment and mismanagement of the bodies of 74-year-old Charles Singleton and 43-year-old Brandon Dotson, who were inmates in the custody of the Alabama Department of Corrections. Singleton died more than 2 years ago at a hospital that typically provides care for older inmates. Dotson was found dead 2 months ago in his cell at Ventress Correctional Facility. In Singleton's case, the University of Alabama Birmingham's Department of Pathology conducted his autopsy before returning his remains. Court documents note that his family members had his body sent to a funeral home where the funeral director told them it would be difficult to prepare his body for viewing since it was already in a noticeable state of decomposition and was suffering from advanced skin slippage. The family was also informed that Singleton's body was missing all of his organs, including his brain. The funeral director told the family it's common practice during an autopsy to remove internal organs and place them in bags, but that they should be placed back inside the body once the process is complete. Singleton's family contacted the university about the organ's whereabouts, but reportedly received little to no information on the matter. UAB released this statement in response to the lawsuit Singleton's family filed. Quote, we do not comment on pending litigation. We only conduct autopsies with consent and I'm sorry, with consent and authorization, and follow standard procedures equitably for anyone consented to or authorized for an autopsy. The autopsy practice is accredited by the College of American Pathologists and staffed by credentialed physicians who are certified by the American Board of Pathology. In an autopsy, organs and tissues are removed to best determine the cause of death. Autopsy consent includes consent for final disposition of the organs and the tissues. Unless specifically requested, organs are not returned to the body. UAB is among providers that, consistent with Alabama law, conduct autopsies of incarcerated persons at the direction of the state of Alabama. A panel of medical ethicists reviewed and endorsed our protocols regarding autopsies conducted for incarcerated persons. End of quote. Now, that's the quote from University of Alabama, Birmingham. In the case with Mr. Dotson, and that is Mr. Brandon Dotson, the case was also full of holes for his family members. His mother requested the state authorities to return his body as soon as his family learned of his death in mid-November. The Alabama Department of Corrections conducted an initial autopsy before returning his remains 5 days after his death. When the family sent his body to the funeral home, the funeral director said Dotson's body was severely decomposed, making plans for an open casket funeral impossible. The family also reportedly was told that the body could have been improperly stored while it was in the state's possession. Family members hired an independent pathologist to carry out a second autopsy and discovered that Dotson's heart was missing from his body. In a federal lawsuit, they alleged that the Alabama Department of Corrections kept his heart without the family's consent. They also named the University of Alabama system a defendant in the belief that the university's Hearsink Medical School was a possible intended recipient of Dotson's heart. The school denounced the claim outright, calling it a bald speculation, adding that the university never conducted the autopsy or received Dotson's organs. The Alabama Department of Corrections offered no statement, telling news outlets that it doesn't comment on pending litigation. The attorney for the Dotson family recently commented on both the Dotson case and the case from Mr. Singleton, citing that it proves that, quote, this is absolutely part of a pattern, end of quote. It's got to be part of a pattern. It's got to be part of a pattern because you got one case from 2 years ago and another case from 2 months ago. I mean, this is organ trafficking, organ harvesting, whatever you want to call it. These people, come on now. Let's be clear. From the beginning of this country and the beginning of modern medicine, they have been taking our bodies for science since we got here. They have been mutilating us and using our bodies for the advancement of science since we got here. We know that black people are the superior um people on this planet. We know that we are the superior form of our species, which is why any and all scientific experiments start with black people. Anytime, oh, you need an organ, let me see if I can find a black person. If we allow Alabama and the Alabama Department of Corrections to do things like this and have this whole organ harvesting and organ trafficking situation happen, who's to say that next time a prisoner is complaining that they're in grave pain, that they're not just going to sit there and let them go? Well, we need that. We need that good liver. We need that good pancreas over here. Is that what we're doing? Because the funeral directors are not lying. The funeral, and when the funeral directors tell you what's wrong, these are people who look at these bodies all of the time. Hey, gossip in the garden, they look at these bodies all of the time. White people, the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains, and the people that are in charge of this country have mutilated us, have caused whole families to be, killed off for the sake of science. It's a mess. There's so many cases of this. So many cases. Wait, is that my quintessential? See what I got for you, quintessential? We have Red Velvet, Chips Ahoy. This is for you, quintessential, who adds to the snack fund. Always asking me to get her some Red Velvet Chips Ahoy for my snack. So I got that for you, quintessential. But yes, this is happening in this country. Hey, Monk Chip Boo. I see some people then came in the chat. But listen, if we Harold and all of y'all that are in the great state of Alabama, y'all need to start writing to y'all Alabama legislators and telling them enough is enough. Because now they're organ harvesting from black people that are incarcerated. Because let's be clear, at the demise of that person, that body belongs to the family, not to the Alabama Department of Corrections. And I would venture to tell you that if you're doing autopsies on these people, you need to get the consent of the family. Like at the moment that that person takes their last breath, somebody needs to be calling the family to let the family know, hey, your loved one has passed away. We normally do autopsies at this time, but we do need to get your consent. Do we have your consent to do an autopsy? Can you come in and sign the paperwork for us to do an autopsy to determine whether or not they are what was the cause of death? It's a mess. A mess. That's what y'all got going on. That's what y'all got going on. In more, we got to speed through them. But I wanted to bring that to y'all. In more news of governments doing something wrong, let's venture over to the great state of Ohio, because I need to show y'all this right here. Oh, y'all need to see this. Let me share my screen. Hold on. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold your line. Where am I at? Oh, I'm presenting. Okay. All right. All right. Let's make this big. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see this? All right. Let me take the overlay down so y'all can see it good. And let me take myself off the screen. All right. Let's look at this because I need y'all to see this. I need y'all to see this. Oh, no, we don't want the shark attacking the 10-year-old boy. That's not the story we need. God. Hold your line, y'all. Hold your line. Sorry. My bad. We don't need the shark attacking the 10-year-old boy. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay. It wasn't the shark. I was wrong. Okay. I was about to say we do not need nothing with the shark attacking the 10-year-old boy. All right, we ready. For real this time. For real, for real. All right. Where's my production team when I need them? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Small town in Ohio is demanding answers after a police raid allegedly ended with a young child in the hospital.
Police search warrant coming downstairs.
All right, that is the exact moment that police entered that home just outside of Cleveland. And you can see a young mother with her hands up, screaming that her baby is inside. There she is. There are conflicting accounts right now about what actually happened. The mother claims that officers had the wrong address and that her baby suffered chemical burns and other injuries. But in a statement, police say it was the correct house and that the child was not hurt. NBC News correspondent Valerie Castro joins us now. Valerie, what did happen here and how is that baby?
So Morgan, first of all, the baby is still recovering in the hospital. His mom, Courtney Price, she tells our NBC affiliate in Ohio that her baby was born prematurely. And so he has a defect in one of his lungs and he also has a hole in his heart. She says doctors are now telling her that her son has inflammation of his lungs, irritation in his eyes that they believe is from some sort of chemical exposure. Price says that she recently moved to Ohio to stay with family so her son could have heart surgery. Now she says that has been delayed because of this incident. Take a listen to what she had to say.
We came here for a fresh start, and now I gotta feel so unsafe here. I'm just trying to tough it out and stay for better care, but I just do not like being here now. It's really hard.
And just to touch back to what police have said, they say that 2 flashbangs were used in this raid. That was the loud bang that you heard when they entered. They say it emits sound and light. They say there is no chemical component to that flashbang. And part of the statement that they released says any allegations suggesting the child was exposed to chemical agents, lack of medical attention, or negligence is not true. So that's what police released last week.
And they're claiming they were at the right house. Back us up here and tell us why police were forcing their entry into that house in the first place.
Right. So police were there to serve a search warrant. They were looking for a suspect. And according to reports after this incident, it was a case having to do with stolen firearms. But Price says the person that they were looking for, the mom, she says the person they were looking for hasn't lived at that address for at least a year. And of course, the mayor is now asking for a full investigation.
Yeah, how did this happen? All right, NBC News correspondent Valerie Castro. Thank you so much, Valerie.
Thanks, Valerie.
Okay, so here is more information that you may need to know. So they threw 2 flash bombs into the house. Now, if you know anything about when they throw those little flash bombs and stuff in there, you know, that makes the noise, that makes the have the lights and stuff like that. What happens with that is it does release some types of chemicals and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? The mom says that one of the flash bombs went directly next to that child. That when they throw the little thing in there, it went directly next to that child. In some other videos that I've seen of this, there was in excess of 50 fully armed, full SWAT arsenal cops going in there to serve a search warrant. Now get this, for a 14-year-old boy. There were more than 50 cops there in full SWAT team gear, all of this, you know, war grade, you know, weaponry and, you know, tactical clothing and gear for a 14-year-old boy that you're serving a warrant for. For a 14-year-old boy. I don't care if you was going in, they use less people to go get Bin Laden. But this goes back to what I've been telling y'all about policing. Policing in this country now is like gearing up to go to war. They have, because let me tell you how this is cyclical in nature, okay? Hey, Dean, let me tell you how this is cyclical in nature. There are laws on the books that says the United States military cannot attack its own citizens. Illegal. Now, the United States military isn't even allowed to do any type of military, you know, stuff involving its citizens. But then you go to the National Guard, which is under the care of the state governors. Even then, the National Guards, by and large, unless it's on federal grounds, I think, or it's a situation where it's a like when you have natural disasters, the hurricanes, and they send the National Guards to help, make sure everything is okay. But by and large, the National Guard doesn't even do that. So how do they get this? How do they then get to attack their own citizens? They use the police force. And if you notice, over the last 25 to 30 years, you can chronicle police forces all over the country. They have the same style of wartime vehicles, ammunitions, tactical gears. They have everything that the United States military has. Only difference is it's being used within our borders on our own people. It's the only difference. So now, instead of our government using our military to attack us with military grade weaponry, they use the fucking police force to go into our neighborhoods, go into our homes, and attack us as if we're on the fucking battlefield at some fucking war across the fucking world. Like, if you're sending 50 people in a house for one person, that tells me you have no intention on that person living. None. And poor lady, poor girl who's there with her newborn child, she ends up on the wrong end of it. And so many times, time after time after time after time, we have people on the wrong end of it. Or we have the situations like Breonna Taylor, where they will make shit up. They will falsify documents. They will falsify all types of affidavits and warrants so that they can go and use military grade weaponry on us here in this country. The problem is it happens to our black asses all of the time, and white people usually get away unscathed. But now you have this white lady who it happened to, and she wasn't doing anything, and she has the tear coming down, and she has this poor child, this little white innocent little baby who's on this respirator, who can't breathe, and who we have all the sympathy for, but y'all have no sympathy for our black asses when it's us. Y'all didn't care that y'all gunned down black people at any whim, at the will of anybody. Oh, it's a black person, gun them down. Ain't no crying, ain't no nothing. We going on with life, ain't nothing happened. But I suspect the full-throated support of the entirety of the Ohio legislature, the entirety of all of the local municipality, state government, and I can bet your bottom dollar the feds are going to be involved. Why? Because you have white woman who has her white teeth. I'm not diminishing what she went through, because it's horrific what she went through, and she had no business going through that. But this is a testament to what has been allowed to go on over and over and over with reckless abandon. These are the things y'all got going on. It was set up this way. This is how they set it up. They wanted this. This is what they wanted. Just saying. Elyria, Ohio is where this happened. Now that poor child who was supposed to have a whole heart surgery can't even have heart surgery because y'all in here like we're in the middle of Baghdad, like we're in the middle of Kosovo, like we're in the middle of Ukraine, or like we're in the Gaza Strip, just with reckless abandon, just tear it all up. Ain't nobody said a goddamn thing. Everybody giving full-throated support to law enforcement because we dare talk about dismantling this garbage that we call law enforcement. I'm sorry, y'all. I was spiking. Let me bring it back down. Woosah. I felt myself about to spike out. But this is what y'all got going on. In more news of officers doing things wrong, remember when we talked about the case of Manuel Ellis over in Tacoma, Washington, who was killed by those police officers. Remember that whole situation? We chronicled that here on this channel. We'll get this. The 3 Washington State police officers who murdered Manuel Ellis, remember, they kept tasing him and they beat him and they restrained him face down on the sidewalk or whatever. And this is in the great state of Washington. We reported on that here. So they have these 3 police officers have not only been cleared of any criminal charges, okay, they will each also receive $500,000 so that they can leave Tacoma Police Department. Oh yes, they're being given $500,000 each of the murderers. They're being given $500,000 just so they can leave the Tacoma Police Department and go somewhere else and kill someone else. Y'all ain't offer a goddamn dime to the family of Manuel Ellis, who was killed and murdered at the hands of these officers, and give them a goddamn dime. But y'all taking $1.5 million of taxpayer dollars to pay murderers. I'm just gonna let that sit right there. I'm just gonna let that sit right there. Hey, Regina, just gonna let that sit right there. $1.5 million of taxpayer money is being used so that each one of those 3 murderers can be given $500,000 so that they won't come back to the police department, because all they're going to do is go to the next town over, become police officers there, and then they'll murder the next black person. This is what we got going on. This is what we got going on. This is why I say over and over, we have to rethink the entirety of how we handle law enforcement and the criminal justice system in this country. It is all wrong, but they want no parts of that. They don't want to entertain any conversation about rethinking how we do law enforcement, about rethinking how we do criminal justice in this country. They don't even see black people as being human. They do not even see any humanity or black people as human at all. So I don't know how we expect it to get any better, because to them, we are not human. In more sugar spiky news, because we are in the week of Martin Luther King, right? I should probably tell you that, we had Aubrey O'Day yesterday, who thought it not robbery enough to use Martin Luther King to sell her OnlyFans. We had people doing all types of horrible things in the name of one Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We then have, not to be left out of the conversation, Republican Representative Lauren Boebert, who also thought it not robbery to make some incendiary comments about misquoting Martin Luther King. Let me give you this little gem. On Monday, the conservative lawmaker Lauren Boebert took to X, formerly known as Twitter, and wrote the following, quote, "This Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we celebrate the life of a man who led a movement for freedom and prosperity for all. The fight was for equality, not equity. His dream is the American dream." End of quote. I'm just let that sit right there. So then, of course, it's Twitter. She started to get dog walked and monkey stomped. One person wrote, Lauren Boebert is not able to tell anyone what Martin Luther King was about because I quite frankly don't think she understands or it doesn't have any resonating power with her. Another person wrote, Boebert is someone who has stood against anything that looks like civil rights since she got elected. This is someone who does not believe that white supremacist systems exist. Another person wrote, this is someone who does not believe that it matters to have equity at the forefront. This is someone who supports systems that keep Black people down. Lauren Boebert, after the barrage of comments under and replies under her statement, she went on to write this, doubling down. Quote, Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream that we would be equal in America. Equity had no part of that dream. It was about equality. Let's end the woke movement in America in honor of MLK Jr. End of quote. That's what Lauren Boebert wrote. Because remember, these people want no parts of equity. Because according to her, Martin Luther King wanted no parts of equity. He only wanted equality. Let me put a visual to this because this is for the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains that don't understand the difference between equity and equality. Here we go. When you have equality, everything is equal, regardless of whatever shortcomings people have. You see the one on the left? When you have equity, then everybody gets the equal advantage because those people who need whatever extra assistance are provided with that extra assistance. So everybody has a fair look at the game. We can expand that further and show this. Now, we got on the left reality, equality is next, equity is next, and then liberation. I just needed to put a visual to this because we got fuck bitches and fucktards trying to quote the Reverend Doctor, and they're doing it incorrectly. The fact that these ass clowns utilize the words of Dr. King and twist them into the most racist, discriminatory, and bigoted things imaginable is beyond my level of comprehension. I mean, but what do we expect? They did the same thing with the Bible, and that's supposed to be this rich document that is supposed to consume how everyone lives, breathes, and has their being. And they use that to bastardize and use for their racist and discriminatory ideations. I don't know why that whore is in office. I have no idea. She won by like 500 votes. That's it. I don't even know why she's in office. I'm just saying. Moving on. I don't want to spend too much time on Lauren Boebert, God of mercy, God of love. This will be our transition story. And we're going to have this story thanks to little brother Xavier, who gave us this little gem. Kentucky Republican pushes bill to make sex with first cousin not incest. Let me read this from Newsweek.com. A Kentucky Republican has introduced legislation that would amend the state's law so a person who had sex with their first cousin would no longer be criminally liable for incest. House Bill 269, which State Representative Nick Wilson sponsored, was introduced on January 16th to the House Committee on Committees. According to the Kentucky General Assembly website, it would strike, quote, first cousin from the list of familial relationships, end quote, defined as unlawful incest in the state. The amendment would also reduce the designation of incest by contact to a Class D felony for some cases, unless it is committed with a person who is less than 12 years of age, in which case it is Class C. Representative Wilson first shot to prominence when he won. I don't care about him, but this is what y'all have going on in the great state of Kentucky. Oh, Yana, you are now our resident Kentuckian. Yana, you are our aficionado on all things Kentucky. Are y'all out there clamoring and chomping at the bit to have sex with your first cousin? Is this what we're doing in the great state of, I mean, West Virginia didn't want any parts of this. Where's Alabama in the, I suspect Alabama to be doing this. Where's West Virginia in this? Where's Mississippi? Oklahoma, y'all ain't want none. Arkansas over there with Governor Quasimodo, who looks like the product of incest herself. She ain't want no parts of this type of law. I mean, where do we stop? We talk all the time about this being a country of copycats where one thing passes and everybody else starts doing it. I'm just saying. That's what we're doing. Yana says, which is why most of white people in Kentucky look like the Hills Have Eyes. Yes, they look like they were an extra on the movie Deliverance, sitting on a porch playing a banjo. They look like they auditioning for that movie Wrong Turn or something. Like, girl, was it Wrong Turn shot in Kentucky? I don't know. But it's a whole, listen. What are we doing, y'all? Treating the family reunion like a speed dating event. Listen, Spicy Original. I don't know what's happening. We got people that are organ harvesting in Alabama, and in Kentucky, we now have people wanting to make it legal for you to have sex with your first cousin. I'm just saying, where do we draw the line? Dear God, flowers in the attic. Flowers in the attic. Where do we draw the line? I'm just saying. It sounds to me like bruh got a fine ass first cousin and want a chance to tap that, and is now in a position to write state legislature and a position to write laws into the legislature, I should say, and now wants the right to go and blow his first cousin's back out or get his own back blown out by his first cousin. I'm just saying. Xavier, is that a remake of the original Flowers in the Attic? Was not a the original Flowers in the Attic was not a Lifetime movie. Not the original movie. Yana made it known real fast. These are not my people. I'm just here. These are not my people. Child. I'm just reporting. Listen, don't get mad at me. I'm just reporting that it could actually be law in the great state of Kentucky that you can have sex with your first cousin. Don't look at me. I ain't make the law. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Moving on. We ain't got that much time left. Hold on. Where are we at? Let's break down this Dwight Howard situation.
So we got more news in the ongoing saga. Right, I'm just reporting the facts, Regina. That's all I'm doing. Now, if you want to go to the great state of Kentucky and blow your first cousins back out, baby, go with God. Go ahead, get your whole life, get your damn life. Just plan to have a plan B pill waiting on the nightstand, or I don't know, have something ready, because mind you, these are states where abortion is basically illegal. So not only if you have sex with that person, you forced to carry the term, whatever that is that births from that union. I'm just saying, that's what the people said. Help us, Lord. So in the ongoing Dwight Howard saga, there's more news. So Mr. Harper, that's the accuser, is accusing Dwight Howard of submitting questionable evidence in their sexual assault lawsuit. Stephen Harper has accused Dwight Howard of submitting questionable text messages as a part of a desperate bid to get the case tossed out. The stunning accusation included an affidavit by the accuser, Stephen Harper, who flat out disputed the validity of several text messages submitted by Dwight Howard in December. We read those text messages over here. Harper's legal team charged the questionable evidence purportedly showed that the alleged victim wanted to participate in a threesome with a man dressed as a woman named Kitty. We read those over here. This is what, according to the court documents, it said, quote, defendant Howard appears to be perpetuating the tired excuse that Mr. Harper was somehow asking for it. In an attempt to bolster his position, defendant Howard submits questionable evidence which conveniently surfaced just in time for filing defendant Howard's motion for summary judgment. End of quote. Well, what did you expect, sir? That's how court cases work. You trying to get summary judgment, you trying to get something, you wait and you put that mess out right before you file it. What did you think what's gonna happen? Who did you hire as the lawyer? Because I hope you went and found one of these people that come on during Jerry Springer and Maury Povich. Ma'am, dear one, doll baby, love bug, we know you ain't got two nickels to rub against each other, because you told us about your failed modeling career. Remember that? You told us about that, right? Dwight Howard is a multi-millionaire. Dwight Howard got a lot of money, meaning the man can pay for very good attorneys. Did you not think that his legal team was going to be able to do all of this kind of stuff? Let me continue reading from the court documents. Quote, however, the authenticity of this text exchange between defendant Howard and Mr. Harper is in question. End of quote. That's from the court proceedings. Now, Dwight Howard's attorney, Justin Bailey, who's very well known, very well versed in these types of proceedings, and is a high powered attorney, he vehemently refuted the allegations by Stephen Harper's legal team and insisted the smoking gun text messages submitted into evidence were pulled directly from his iPhone. The lawyer, Dwight Howard's lawyer, went on to say, quote, if anyone can tell me how anyone could hack into a phone platform and add messages to a text exchange that were never sent, that would be an interesting concept for me. That is what they are essentially alleging, is that somehow Mr. Howard went back in time and added text messages to a text chain, and that is not possible. These messages were pulled from the iMessage history. End of quote. I'm just saying. The text messages show, Mr. Harper, that you was okay with it. Let me tell you, let me give you more context about what Stephen Harper is alleging. So there's a 5-page affidavit that Stephen Harper and his legal team have submitted to the court, and he has denied sending some of the text messages that were a part of Dwight Howard's evidence. Quote, Exhibit 4 does not accurately depict the text message conversation between myself and Dwight Howard. Specifically, Defendant's Exhibit 4 appears to have been altered to include a text message that I never sent to Dwight Howard. I never said that I wanted to have a threesome with Dwight. End of quote. He is also refuting Exhibit 5. I don't know what Exhibit 5, but that he's also refuting that. Now, his legal team has argued that Dwight Howard's request for summary judgment is premature, especially since meaningful discovery of the evidence has not occurred. Mr. Harper's legal team has subpoenaed cell phone carriers, Dwight Howard's cell phone carrier, for certified copies of his phone records that will accurately depict the electronic text message exchange between he and Dwight Howard. Listen, let me tell you something, Mr. Harper. Here's what you do. Doesn't it make sense for him to just send his text? But like, if it's wrong, just show us what's in your phone. Show us what's in your phone, sir. If it's wrong, you should be able to print out your text message chain and show us that it didn't happen. Now, some kind of way it got to Dwight Howard's phone. How it got to Dwight Howard's phone and you ain't sent it is beyond our level of comprehension. So now it's just they went and copied and pasted it, right? That's what we're doing. We're copying and pasting it. And girl, Mr. Harper, it ain't looking good for you. It's looking more and more like you okayed the threesome. Miss Kitty came out there. Miss Kitty ain't look like you thought she was gonna look, and you wasn't down for the cause. Or it's looking like a money grab because you broke as a joke and you trying to, come up on some good money. Either way, we don't know. We don't care, but it don't look good for you, sweetheart. Dear one, love bug. I don't know what to tell you. Xavier, go talk to your friend. That's your friend, Xavier. I don't know. Go talk to your friend, Xavier. Xavier, can you go talk to your friend? I'm just saying. Now, Danny says it is possible to spoof a phone and send text messages to a clone phone, but these fools don't know how to do those things. This sounds like a shakedown going wrong. But Danny, is it possible? Because if I remember, there were dates and times on those text messages because we read them on this channel. Would they then be able to go and backdate it and show like old dates and stuff like that? Like Dwight Howard ain't doing all of that. Let's just be clear, because Dwight Howard did not. This just seems real far-fetched. Mr. Harper, this is not looking good for you, girl. This is not looking good for you. This is Xavier. Did we not break down this story when it first happened? Did we not break down this story when it first? Did we not say from the very beginning, Wembley, no pause, of Mr. Harper? None. We never believed Stephen Harper. Go with God, Stephen Harper. Go with God. We have nothing for you. We have nothing for you. Drake may be in trouble. Now get this. People are dragging Drake because He brought some rapper named FNG Lil King to the club with him. And while that may not sound like a problem, FNG Lil King is 10 years old. And he is allegedly the son of some rapper, another rapper or whatnot. Let me read this for y'all. Drake is being slammed online after a video of him posing in the club with Finesse 2 times rap protege and reported son, FNG Lil King. Video of the pair together surfaced on Monday, January 15th, showing the 11-year-old, excuse me, not 10-11, the 11-year-old rapper flashing money at a party while additional money is scattered around the floor and the couch behind them. When the clip was posted online, people in the comments on Instagram, people in the comments were none too pleased. Many were concerned that Drake is continuing to push the exploitation of a child. Quote, he's doing this shit to a lost black kid while his son is probably in France learning valuable things. End of quote, someone wrote. Another person wrote, quote, his kid is riding horses and learning Aramaic, but he's in the club with an exploited child. I bet he would not put that lifestyle on his own son. End of quote. The people got a point. I mean, when they write, they write. What are your thoughts on it? Because I don't see him bringing his child to no club. That's first of all. And where's your mama and your daddy? Where's your mama? First of all, this is why you don't let everybody take your child. Second of all, at the moment that, first of all, clubs open at questionable hours of the night when an 11-year-old boy should be his ass in bed. That's the first thing. Second thing, let's just say by some chance he had been hanging out with Drake all day and then they ended up at the club. Certainly, when it got to be about 8 o'clock or damn 8 o'clock, when the street lights went out, you as a parent supposed to start calling, hey, boo, where's my child? Hey, sweetheart, ring, ring, ring. Sweetheart, dear one, love bug, honey bunch. What the fuck is my goddamn child? Because the street lights is on and my child needs to be home. I don't give a shit what kind of rapper he is. His ass need to be his ass at home. He got homework. He got school tomorrow. We're not doing none of this shit. I'm just saying. And like the person who put in the comment section said, if you wouldn't do it for your raggedy ass children, don't try and do it with nobody else's children. I don't see you bringing your children to no club, no 10, 11, no way late at night. No, God. So if you wouldn't do it for your own kids, why are you doing it with somebody else's child? That's just a rule of thumb. But then I can't even say that because some of these raggedy ass parents, they do all kinds of shit with their kids. So I can't even say that no more. Dear God. Just a mess. But let the people tell it. There's a whole gay agenda trying to make everybody gay. And then we have this. I'm eating Skittles because I don't want to spike out. So I'm getting a little sugar in my system to regulate my sugar levels. Exactly, Danny. Say it for the people in the back. How the fuck y'all still got a liquor license? First of all, who's at the door? I don't give a shit if it is Drake. When Drake comes to the door and you see this short look, hey, is that a little person? Because we don't allow children in the club. Period. Because we have a whole liquor license that we need to try and keep. I don't know, Regina. I don't know. This y'all boy though. Y'all love Drake. Y'all be out here windmilling for him. Y'all love y'all some Drake. Y'all be out here windmilling for him. And he out here got 11-year-old kids down to the club if you need him. If you need him. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, I saw this on several sites that I frequented. So I'm not sure who this Vince Staples person is, but allegedly he's supposed to be getting a show on Netflix. The show is called the Vince. No, it's not called the Vince Staples Show, is it? Yeah, it's called the Vince Staples Show. I watched the trailer and it looks like the same. It looks like what a lot of Xavier's generation gives. I could play the trailer on here, but I'm very afraid that if I play the trailer here, YouTube is going to get me and give me a copyright claim. So I'm not going to play the trailer here. You can go watch it. Now, I'm not going to negate the fact that Vince Staple may not be funny, but my problem with Vince Staples and a lot of Xavier's generation, when you give them a show or a movie, something that has to have an arc, something where you have to have plot development, something where you have to connect storylines and things like that, the shit goes south because the asses are high all the time on laced up weed or copious amounts of other illicit drugs. So they just start throwing out these ideas that in a pocket and in a vacuum may be funny, but when you put it all together, the shit ain't funny. When you put it together to make a show which has to have a story arc, this shit doesn't make sense. That was the problem with Atlanta. The problem I had with the show Atlanta, especially in the last 3 to 4 seasons, it was just like bizarro world at certain point, and there was no story arc, there was no plot progression, there was no growth and development of characters, there was nothing. Now I'm hoping this ain't it. I'm hoping this ain't what happens with this show, but based on the trailer left me like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, who's in the writer's room? Who's okaying this stuff? That was the problem I had with the show Atlanta by Danny Glover. Not Danny Glover, Donald Glover. I remember, now that you say that now and looking at his face, I remember him dating Janine and she broke up with him. And he was like, okay, I remember that. I know they like the non-linear storyline, but that's very a non-linear storyline. You have to be very finite. That means that you only want to do one season or just maybe a few episodes, and that's it. You can't have this non-linear storyline and be thinking, oh, I'm gonna be on 5, 6, 7 seasons. Because that's what happened to Atlanta. If Atlanta only had season 1, it would have been great. But once they got greenlit for multiple seasons, these people didn't think that far ahead because they're just thinking in these small little bubbles, not understanding that there has to be a story arc, or it just doesn't make sense and it gets stupid. And then the ratings flounder and then they get canceled. Netflix says it's a miniseries. I wish him the best, but I watched that, Xavier, and I thought about you and your generation. I said, this is the buffoonery that they put out there. Because what happens is they try to be so contrarian in everything that they do. They try to be so out of the box and out of pocket that they just outthink themselves. And certain traditional things about storytelling you need. There are certain things you have to have when you're telling a story. I'm just saying. Tanya says she felt the same way about Atlanta, right? I mean, you got these people thinking they're so deep and so heady and so intellectual when really you're just so high. But the shit don't make sense. Now in your, brain that's, amped up on illicit drugs, it makes sense. But to the rest of us watching you that are sober and watching the shit you put out, we looking like, what the fuck is this bullshit? I'm not saying your generation does not have hits, but Dear White People wasn't from your generation. The guy who wrote Dear White People wasn't from your generation, Xavier. You can't claim Dear White People. Sorry. Can't. And technically, Issa Rae isn't from your generation either. So there's that. Issa Rae and what's the guy who did Dear White People? They're millennials. They're not Gen Zers. You can't claim them. Sorry. Now, I don't know how old Quinta Brunson is, but I thought Quinta Brunson was before Gen Z. I'm just saying. Xavier Swarm was only one season. That's the thing that I'm saying. It works if it's just one season or a few episodes and that's it. But if you try to go multiple seasons, it doesn't work. That's the point that I'm making. Oh, Vince is like 30. Oh, I thought he was like your age. Oh, okay. Well, whatever. It still reeks of your generation. But I don't like this newfangled shit. Anyway, but I just wanted to bring y'all can go and watch the trailer. It's called the Vince Staples story. And you can put it in the members. Xavier, drop the link to the trailer in the members only chat so the members can go watch it. And then y'all can tell me, members in the members only chat, how y'all feel about it. Maybe I'm just being too harsh. Okay, Xavier, please go drop that in the members only chat. Maybe I'm just being too harsh or whatnot. Anyway, that's all we got for today. We about to send y'all over to Really Be in just a second. Let me see if she's live already. Listen, we had a great time again today. Great time was had by all again today. A great time was had by all again today. Listen, y'all could have been a whole lot of places, but y'all decided to be here with me. So as I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. I don't know what's going on with the tube of you. Trying to get y'all over to Really Be. I should be live tomorrow. It is my intent. Did I ever watch The Affair? I don't know if I did. Thank you, Yana. I don't know if I've ever seen The Affair. For those people here today that wasn't here yesterday, make sure you go watch yesterday's episode of Run Your Mouth so you can get that rundown of what they're doing to our girl Fannie Willis, because I think that is important for us to see and for anybody to see and watch. So you have full context of what they're doing to our girl Fannie. All right. Anyway, okay, I found it. So I'm gonna send y'all over to Really Be. That's all I got for y'all. Listen, y'all, let me go get something to eat and chill and stuff like that. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. And I did it in an hour. I met my timeline. We out of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow, y'all.